We have a very broad portfolio of products. We can serve basically almost all the needs that creative people, studio directors want. We have rail systems, we have floor rails, ceiling rails, we have free roaming pedestals. Our free roaming pedestals can be combined with lifts, elevators of different sizes. As you see, it's all modular, so you can have the same type of column either on the rail or on the free roaming pedestals. Our free roaming pedestals can either be in a wired version or in a wireless version, which is very unique. It's something that a lot of directors, creative people have been asking, also engineers, because it's of course much more, I would say, much more convenient in the studio to have a wireless system. We have ceiling rail systems. Ceiling rail systems could be either the large one, but you can also have it in a small version, compact version, which integrates very well with the set design, which is actually a common theme. You see here the floor system can be completely integrated into the floor with flat rails, so people can walk all over it. It's not a risk, it's not a safety risk. There's even collision avoidance sensors on the rail. Of course, also on the free roaming pedestals, where you have collision avoidance sensors on the floor, but also on the ceiling, right? So that if you don't hit anything that is hanging from there. You can combine this with pan tilt heads, with classical discrete cameras and prompters, but you can also use a third-party PTZ camera, like Sony, Canon, Panasonic, etc. And we even have our own PTZ camera, which fills in a bit the gap between the discrete pan tilt heads and the current PTZs. Then, of course, we also have the robotic jib, so we can have a robotic jib on the same pedestal, also a wireless version. Again, it's modular. You can say, I start with a classical system with an elevation, and then I replace it with a jib later on. Again, of course, the jib has these safety sensors. It's basically time of flight sensors who ensure that there's actually a dome of protection around the robot. And then you have the cable camera system, which is, again, you can have a stadium version, a large version, or a small studio version. What is again unique is that we have the possibility to offer 8 ropes. So that means each corner 2 ropes, which is much better for safety. And then we also have our robotic arm, the R-Cam, which again has another purpose that's typically either for small studios where you cannot possibly have a jib, or people like who want to take it on the road. This robotic arm is equipped with the encoders inside, so you don't need external sensors for virtual augmented reality or extended reality. And you can, because it's so light, they can easily put it in a flight case, actually the customer is doing that, and move it around from stadium to stadium, from event to event. Most of these robots are either going to be used in a fixed studio, news, weather, also a lot of corporate customers who use it in convention centers or in conference rooms, house of worship. We are using AI, obviously robotics and AI, that's a perfect combination. We have for things like automatic path planning. So imagine a robot, there are multiple robots in the studio, they're moving around. One robot is in the way of another. Let's say that the operator recalls a shot on the other side of the studio. There's another robot there, there's a desk there. Well, the software will automatically suggest new paths. If the path is impossible to do, a studio director will not want the robot to stop, certainly not on air. So the software, you will use AI to basically propose a new path, but keeping the same style of shot, which is a perfect combination with automation, studio automation.